All right, what is going on, guys? This is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. We've returned to B&B Canyon once again, but this time I pulled out all the stops. It's time to find out what obstacles are possible and which ones aren't possible with RC crawlers in the 1/10 scale. So today we brought out my deluxe MOA with the Hittman Fab chassis. This is a, whoa dear. This is a Sudo 3D chassis here. Now, that just means that the cross members are 3D printed and they are in bright red. The rest of the chassis is a thick, heavy-duty carbon fiber. So very lightweight, the geometry is really good on these. And then it's got deluxe super light axles, Holmes Hobby Polar 500 motors, Reef Smart 1100 servo with 8.4 amp BEC. And then we got the Holmes BR Mini ESCs in there. Got loaded dice wheels with the weight hangers. This thing is on full kill mode, ready to go hit some terrain. So the controller I use for my MOA is a FlySky Noble NB4, and it's got a paddle behind the steering wheel as well as in front of the steering wheel. And so I can just click this, and if I hit the rear button, I will do rear wheel drive only. Click it again, 4-wheel drive, and then same for the front. Also, on my trim buttons, right here where my thumb is, I can scroll these up and down and it will change how much overdrive I send to the motors. So really cool setup here, and really cool, capable controller. If you have an MOA, this is a really good value. These are like $220, and for what it's capable of, definitely worth having for the old MOA. Now today is pretty cool temperatures. It's like 60 or so. It was very windy yesterday, so a lot of loose sand hanging out on the rocks. The rocks are not like heat soaked or anything. I think we might be a little limited on traction compared to some days, but I think that we're still gonna get some pretty good obstacles taken care of here. Now there are a lot of people that just can't stand these things, and you're probably not one of them if you're watching this video. There are people who like literally can't stand them, which is hilarious to me, because truthfully, if you drive one, you'll want one. They're really fun. These are about the driving experience and driving the hardest lines possible. It has nothing to do with how they look. It's just, what is the ultimate performance available? Let's do everything that we can to make it happen. So because it is an electronic dig, there's nothing to hurt if you go from dig to 4-wheel drive. It just turns the power off to the motor or turns it on. No big deal. Like, there's no mechanical mechanism that you're going to hurt doing that. So it is as on the fly as you can get. Now, these cars, once you get to this level with the deluxe axles, are surprisingly durable. They're very tough cars, and you can put them through some pretty ridiculous binds. Obviously, the chassis and whatnot are a little less robust than something with like a steel chassis, you know, like a C-channel RC truck or something. You don't want to take a big hard slam, but you can bind these up pretty good and they don't really care. Okay guys, we're gonna give this like one last chance here to try and shoot this wall to determine whether this is going to be possible or not. This is a huge climb to like bump up. You gotta go another foot up the wall before you can really get a hook. So not likely. I turned up my overdrive to help it shoot a little more straight wherever the fronts are pointed. Let's give it a couple shots here. So we can put it in front burn, just drive the front end right back around. It's little tricks like that that make these cars just super fun. So let's try this one more time. So let's see if we can get her to shoot up the hill again. You might get a lucky bounce. You might be able to, but truthfully, there's no line. It'd be more luck than a line. So officially, this is the line then. Then you got to go over to the right, and then up the vertical wall, and then you end up like shifting your way across the side hill. The MOA with its low center of gravity, high grip tires. Normally, with the other scale trucks, I've had to hook my front tire on here and rely on that for traction. This truck just drove straight up. So pretty cool here. So let's bring the front on down. This is a really strong side hill, and I'm not worried at all that it will try and roll here or anything. So now we got the front into the wall. I'm gonna do rear wheel drive only and help scoot that rear downhill. Right there, we're gonna go back to front only. And then drive up into this pocket. Okay, so now let's do rear only, use that Reefs 1100 to shift the whole rear of the car around. My controller just vibrates when I go from four-wheel drive to a dig, so you may hear that little vibration noise. My camera's pretty close to the controller there, so you may slightly hear that. That's what it's doing. Front tires are in a bit of a bind, no surprise. Up the front end goes. Okay, now this should be a huge benefit here. Being able to go rear wheel drive only. I want to try and get that rear up that left wall. Hello, Sydney. Glad you could join us. Say hello to all your friends. Don't mind me recording or anything, you know. Just trying to make a show for you, right? Oh yeah, guys, Sydney's here. Didn't know if I had mentioned that or not. I don't think I did. There the rears go. Sick. I knew it'd just take that little bit of a pinch to get it to go. Now we gotta get the front back across and balanced. All right, that worked out really, really smooth. These bigger 2.2s on that ledge really helped out. Trying to do rear wheel drive only here. It's kind of trapped. Now what's cool about these cars, and also very strange, is when I had the rear trapped there, I was still in four-wheel drive, but I was applying a little amount of throttle. Because the rear was so bound up, the fronts kept driving, but the rear had stopped. Even though the motor was still applying power, it was unable to spin. And so you just get that weird disconnected feel on occasion. And like, it's not a transmission shaft-driven car, where like, you know, if your rear can't spin, then nothing spins. On these, it's just the rear stops spinning. So it's a little wacky like that. This is one obstacle I never really felt was possible, although I tried it multiple times, you know, just why not? Throw it in there, see what happens. Even with this car, I don't really expect much to happen. It gets very steep, and there's just really not much of a place to go. Like, we can try and level out the front and stuff. It just doesn't work climbing it like a notch. I mean, maybe come up here. I need to get that right rear up on the ledge, but the car wants to roll if you try and do that. Yeah, it's not happening, so. And if it were to happen, really only the MOA could do this anyway, so it's all good. This is not the line on this obstacle. So to finally map out this trail, this is officially where you got to go. Of course, we'll always have bonus lines, right? But I'll probably just try them less often if I continue to come back out here. Unless I have something that I think can prove something. But this guy has a bigger tire than all the other cars I've driven through. So we'll see if it can reach across the wall. It can. So let's rear burn, burn and turn. Get the front balanced again, 4-wheel drive. Yeah, just being able to rear burn like that is a huge advantage. Like with my drag axle Capra I drove through here, I really had to fight to get the drag axle through because I was locked in 4-wheel drive. I had to forward and reverse 15 times. Whereas the MOA, I could use the steering to help it pivot that rear. And I actually have the rear shocks limited on their travel. So I could have this have some more articulation if I wanted, but it's really just where it needs to be already. I don't need much more than that. So she already pulls off pretty wild lines. Like it just drives over stuff so easily. It just doesn't care. So to see it start to struggle on obstacles, like you got to understand these are some serious obstacles. Just super planted, predictable. We'll take the left line now. Piece of cake. MOA doesn't care. One thing I find very interesting is the guys who drive full-size cars, the full-size competitive drivers with the buggies and whatnot. If they're into RC, they're usually into the MOAs. Like that's what they like to drive. And I think it's because all the control you get with the motor on axle cars. Not just their crazy capability, but I think they like to have front wheel drive only and rear wheel drive only. It's more similar to their real cars. So like Caliph Redden, Thomas with Fab and 801, both those guys are big time MOA guys. Jeff Kleiben. Justin Kyleman as well. It's just really interesting to me, like in the world of RC, this is what most of the full-size guys go out and drive. There's something about these that the full-size guys like. And I would guess it's the control. Oh, MOA is pulling off a new approach to this. Maybe not. She just about had it. Damn, that was close. Sometimes if I hit the wrong combination of buttons on my controller, I can actually put the car in neutral. If I hit front burn and rear burn, it just turns off both motors. It's so close to getting that left line. Okay, let's just get weird with it. I'll take it. Don't, damn it. Okay. So let's try the line I made work last time, which is to drive up to the right. This car has a pretty short wheelbase compared to my Kraken though, and it's got bigger tires, but it's got less bodywork and a lower center of gravity. Okay, we got it to just pop in there. It's so light when it's stood up like this, I don't get enough traction to pull me forward. We're back to where we started. The MOA is so close, but the wall on the left side kills me. Like I said, you don't have to worry about, you know, binding these things. Went from one side to the other and then spit back out to the bottom again. Damn it. Bypass of shame for the MOA. Getting diffed out, but we're still gonna do our competition drop-in like we did with the drag Axial Capra, so that should be fun. I bet this guy can just drive straight in. I bet it'll drop and hang by the back tires. Yep, look at that. Almost completely vertical. Bring it across. And we're gonna make her turn. Let's go four wheel. Let's go check out this next obstacle. I think I'm just gonna stay away from that lower wall as much as I can until the, uh-oh. Okay, we're now up on the wall again. That did not go as planned. Yeah, the old Hittman probably doesn't have fun when I'm beating on it like this. And I gotta get the front where I want it. Get the car to articulate this way. And then turn back into it. Let's go rear only. Okay, now that rear's so trapped, it's really got nowhere to go. This is kind of a video of like how not to treat your MOA. But we got it done, right? At least this time. But just a testament to how strong these cars really are. And like I was never real worried about any of it other than the wheels. It is definitely possible to break your carbon fiber wheels. Seen it happen, I've done it myself, and I don't want to do it, but it looked cool, right? This is one wall I have not even shown on video because I just never could quite even get close enough. But I always thought the MOA could do it. I think it could get up the bottom. I don't know what'll happen towards the top. Okay, I did that twice now, so it wasn't just luck. can't. I have to dip the front in right there. By not spinning the front, it's pushing it through. The front, every time I put power to the front, it tries to pop it up and out. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. It's so close. Lost it. Damn, that's real close though. Super cool spot. From here, it's pretty well the end of B&B. I was just gonna run this just for the hell of it without recording, and then I was like, well, I should probably just record it if I'm doing it. Car's wide for this. That did not go smoothly at all. That is not the line. Can I recover this? Actually, I think I might be able to. That was a good example of the worst way to drive that possible, and then bind the hell out of your car to get it fixed. Well guys, that's pretty well it for B&B Canyon. This is kind of the last pocket, and then it leads over to another impossible climb that I don't even think the MOA will do. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content on the Hittman Fab chassis deluxe axles MOA. I've had this car for a few months now, and it's just a blast to run every single time. Super fun. I just don't make a lot of video content with it. When I go to grab trucks, I usually just grab the Class 2 stuff. Do we need to try and get up this one for you guys? Well, hell, compared to the other stuff we've been working on, this doesn't look too bad. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the content. Thank you very much for watching. Always greatly appreciated. Sydney appreciates it too, even though she's running back to the truck right now. We will see you guys on the next one. Hey, you got to tell them. Keep the rubber side down. Keep the rubber side down. Thanks guys. See you next time. Well, I ended up holding a little more momentum, and of course it was off camera after I do the outro to the video. Just sitting there messing around a little more. Now it's just taunting me.